It is Jeremy Herrell with Live from America. Today is February 25th, year of our Lord 2021. I am down in Florida in the great city of Orlando for CPAC. We're going to give some live shout outs here. Let's give a shout out to Dawn Hawley from Florida. It looks like Sanja Smith from Ohio. Good to see you. We got Sarah Babb from Connecticut. That's right up near my home state of New Hampshire. So how you doing? Wendy Maxwell from Minnesota. It's great to see you. Thank you very, very much. Oh, hold on. I got to turn this down a little. We got Courtney Riley from Georgia. Vicky Moore from Georgetown, South Carolina. Sharon Berkey, from Missouri. Poplar Bluff, Missouri. I don't know where that is, actually. I do have family that lives in Missouri, but I'm not familiar with that area. We have Jess Robson watching all the way from Australia. You guys are having a heck of a battle with Facebook down there. We have Ashley Jean from Southern Illinois. She says it sucks here. LOL. Heather Radrick from Fort Worth, Texas. Shout out to you too. Thank you for joining in. Who else we got here? Reen McGee from North Carolina. Becky Adams says hello, everyone. Diana X from New York. We have Mike Dago from Ramona, California. Good to see you, Mike. Thank you for joining in tonight. We got Lauren Boyd from South Carolina. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining in. Andy Wood as well as in the building. We've got so many people from the Midwest. We get a lot of listeners from the Midwest. We got Deborah Grube from Snover, Michigan. And we'll give one more shout out here. How about Shar Bar from Denver, Colorado? Thank you so very much for joining in. I don't know, is the picture and everything okay? Does it seem like everything is coming in clear and non-fuzzy? The Wi-Fi here, you know how it is in hotels. The Wi-Fi doesn't work out so well sometimes. But looks like it's all good. Thank you guys very much for letting me know so quick, actually. So, ladies, we're going to start out as we do every show. Oh, you know what? There's one more person that I need to give a shout out, and I hope I'm saying her name right, but it is Renee. And Renee is actually somebody sent me and asked me to give her a shout out because she's doing if I remember correctly, a hunger strike for something to do with the labor board. So we want to wish Renee good luck in what she's trying to achieve. Hey, we have Martha Heroy from Lebanon, New Hampshire. That is literally right where I live. I mean, it's like, I don't know, a half hour from where I live. So shout out to Lebanon, New Hampshire. Also a big shout out to Renee, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start out today by giving you the verse of the day. I know I did not get to give you your verse of the day through a newsletter this morning, and that's just because I was traveling, so I apologize for that. Things are probably going to be a little screwy here for a couple days because I don't know when I'm going to be down on the floor. I don't know when I'm going to be interviewing people. I know I just ran into Scott Pressler a little while ago, good friend. Big shout out to Scott Pressler. Of course, seen Tommy Lahren earlier, seen Matt Ferguson earlier, seen a whole bunch of people from all these great news stations. But you know what news station that I don't see here? I don't see CNN here. I mean, if they're going to cover news and they're going to cover all these people who cover news in one spot, you would think, ladies and gentlemen, that CNN would be here. But, oh, that's right. They're fake news, and they don't consider this real news. They consider themselves real news. So I don't see anybody from CNN. But I'll tell you what, I wish I did. I would love to see somebody from CNN here because I would go interview them. And that would be one heck of an interview. Isn't that an interview that you'd like to see? If you'd like to see me interview somebody from CNN, let me know in the comments because you never know. Remember, when was it? Last year? No, 2 years ago. Michael Avenatti. Remember that guy? Remember that piece of work who is, I believe he's in jail now. Remember he said he was going to run for president and he was going to beat President Donald J. Trump? Remember that? He was here 2 years ago. And nobody wanted him here. So I bet you that I'll run into somebody that I would have an interesting conversation with while I'm here. Let's hope, right? Let's pray, because that's what I'm here to do. But I did run into a lot of people today, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of wonderful people that we watch every day on many, many news stations. But they were all setting up. They were all gearing up. They were all talking to their producers, and they were setting up their booths and where they're going to broadcast from. So I didn't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? Like, hey, can I talk to you real quick? So we'll save that for Friday and Saturday. All right, and I'm sure we'll get plenty. I actually also talked to Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene today after the 11 o'clock show, and she said she will be here Saturday and Sunday. So we'll be doing an exclusive, well, in case something changes, we'll be doing an exclusive interview with Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I know you guys have a lot of questions that you want to ask her, but I know that you'd like to give her your love and your prayers more than anything. So it's going to be one heck of an interview that we get with Marjorie, and I can't wait to do it. I'll be honored to interview her. I have not interviewed Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene since 2017. That's the last time that I got to interview her. So this is going to be a really, really great time for me, and I'm super excited about this because I really want to talk about the incident that just happened with the transgender flag being put outside of her office, and her coming out and putting up the there are two genders poster board on the wall. If you guys could do me a huge favor, and if you guys could copy the link and share the video through text message, or share it through direct message or Facebook message, if you guys could share it right over to Facebook, I would really appreciate that. It seems like a lot of people are still having a hard time finding the show, and that is what it is. But let's get right to giving our honor, our love, and our attention to God first, because without him, none of this is possible. Without you guys, none of this is possible. And God works through every single one of us, ladies and gentlemen. So today's verse of the day is going to come from Proverbs 27:17. Okay? And that says, "Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend." Okay? And basically that's to say, who encourages you? Who encourages you? Who supports you? Who strengthens you? Think about the people that God has placed in your life as you think about that verse, about iron sharpening iron, okay? Because we need to surround ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, with people who will hold us accountable, number one, and we need to surround ourselves with people who will strengthen our faith in the Lord. Now, one thing that I've noticed since doing Live from America, and especially since doing it on the scale that it got to on Facebook when we were getting 30,000 people, is that the Lord is using each and every single one of us to strengthen each other. Every time the Lord uses me every morning to send out that newsletter, ladies and gentlemen, to you guys, that is me sharpening your faith through and God using me to do it. Like that's an incredible thing. You know what I mean? And how many people do you pass it on to? How many people do you talk about that newsletter with during a day? How many people is it affected by the way that your choices have you change the way you see things, you change the way your decision making and all of that. It's such an amazing thing, the gift that God gives us to be able to strengthen each other. And that's why you always you hear that where two or more are gathered, I will hear you, I will bless you. Where two or more gathered. I mean, that's a powerful statement. That's a powerful statement. And my pastor told me, he said, "Do you know what the word church actually means? Do you know where the word church actually came from?" And I said, Actually, I don't. And he said, "It means to gather. It means to gather." And I said, wow, I never knew that. He said, "Yes, we can do church virtually. We can do this, Facebook church and all that." He says, "But the actual meaning of church, and heaven isn't a building. I get it. To worship God doesn't mean you have to be in a building. But to gather around other people who are going to strengthen your faith, that is amazing. It really is amazing." So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the news, and I got a lot of it, let's say the Lord's Prayer together, okay? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Amen, huh? Somebody said, I'm in Facebook jail again. Hey, welcome to the club. I'm in Facebook exile forever. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get right to it. Down here, since I'm in Orlando, we're going to talk about Orlando first, okay? Now, the Orlando mayor, Buddy Dyer, is making the hotel here, facilitating CPAC, mask Nazis, ladies and gentlemen, mask Nazis. Apparently, you're going to get one warning if you're not wearing your mask over your mouth and your nose. And if they have to give you a warning again, they are going to remove you. Now, this isn't CPAC. This is the hotel that is calling these shots. Why? Because Mayor Buddy Dyer, who is a Democrat, who is a massive liberal, who wants to do anything he can to put the screws to Governor DeSantis and President Trump, okay? He is trying anything he can to make it very hard for people to be at CPAC. I think it's disgusting. I think it's just get over it already. Just get over it. We got to live with this as a society. Just get over it, okay? Now, I'm grateful that the Hyatt is even hosting CPAC. But why? And I'm sure there's a lot of decisions that went into this. I'm sure there is, especially since the fact that President Trump is going to be speaking on Sunday. But why would CPAC, the largest conservative convention in the country, why would you choose a liberal city with a liberal mayor who wants to make it very difficult for you and the people attending to even be there? I didn't understand that. I've literally been talking to everybody that I can, every other reporter, since I got, oh yeah, check out there's the press pass. You see my ugly mug there? Look at that, LFA Media Company. That's all because of you guys. If it wasn't because of you guys, none of this would exist. So I've been going around using this bad boy to go in all these places to talk to other people in the media, and I've asked them the same question. I've said, somebody said, you know what, you're right. Somebody said maybe it was booked a year ago. You're probably right. You're probably right. But still, even a year ago, this guy was the mayor here. So it's just, I didn't understand that. I'm like, why didn't we have that? I mean, I know Florida is a great state, and I know Orlando is filled with great people, but this hotel is getting pressured to be masky pad Nazis, and it's sickening because everywhere you go, they're like, oh, your mask. Oh, your mask. I was actually, John, getting a bottle of water, and the lady goes, I had my mask, but I had it right here. You know, I got to be able to breathe a little bit. It's hot in Florida. You know what I mean? I'm from the Northeast. It's hot down here. So I put it right here, and she's like, can you put it up over your nose, please? I'm like, I can't breathe. So what do you want me to do? You want me to pass out right here on the floor? You want me to buy this bottle of water and get out of your not I mean? I'm not trying to be rude here, but the mask is there. Calm down. If I walk 2 feet over there and sit down, I'm allowed to take it off. So I think you're okay. Calm down. It's going to be okay. Oh, man, I tell you. Anyway, I just thought that I would say that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to the Dum Dum Award. The Dum Dum Award of the day goes to Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney gets the Dum Dum Award again. And here's why, okay? Liz Cheney's on her way out, guys. And not really from even her own state, which her own state doesn't even want her there. But Liz Cheney is definitely on her way out. And the reason why she's on her way out is because of the little stunt that she pulled yesterday. I'm sure you've seen it. And I can't wait to get home and buy that bag of lollipops so I can hold up the Dum Dum Award every time I give it to somebody. Because some people just need it. Some days I need the Dum Dum Award. My wife actually came up with that a long, long time ago, and she used to actually hold up a dum-dum every time that I was, being a dum-dum. And I just thought about it again the other day, and I said, oh, we got to do it right here on the show. So the dum-dum of the day goes to Liz Cheney. And why is she on her way out, ladies and gentlemen? Because of what she did to Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it, but Kevin McCarthy was getting interviewed by the fake news media. And the question that the fake news media asked Kevin McCarthy was, should President Trump be speaking at CPAC? Now, behind Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy was Liz Cheney and the other leaders of the Republican Party. Okay? The fake news asked Kevin McCarthy, should President Trump be speaking at CPAC? Kevin McCarthy spoke up instantly and said, yes, he should. He didn't even have to think about it. Okay? Didn't even have to think about it because he knows where the party is and he knows where his career is without President Trump's endorsement. He's a smart dude. You know, he may be kind of a rhino, but he's a smart dude. He understands what he needs to do and the tightrope he needs to walk. So when he asked, he goes, of course he should. Yes, he definitely should. So then the fake news media in fake news media fashion, in that wedge that they're constantly trying to use to divide this party and divide these and to divide all of us, they went right from Kevin McCarthy, who was standing in front of the mic with his mask off speaking, and they directed their attention and their question right to Liz Cheney, who was standing about 4 feet behind him, masky padded right up, and they said, what about you, Miss Cheney? Do you think President Trump should be speaking at CPAC? And you could see, if you haven't seen the video, you could see Kevin McCarthy's face. He did a very good job at holding a poker face. He really did. But you could see he was almost like, don't say it. Don't you say it. But in Liz Cheney fashion, the Dum Dum Award can't keep her mouth shut in front of a camera. It's almost like she's purposely sabotaging the Republican Party. It's almost like she knows she doesn't have the support, but she wants to keep up this fight anyway. And for whatever reason, her response was this. Well, that's up to CPAC. Personally, I don't believe that he should be playing a role in the future of this party or the future of this country. That's what she said. And right when she said it, I love people are putting up emojis of the lollipops, the dum-dums. Somebody said, isn't she married to another woman? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she is or not. That's besides the point. You know, that's her own life, whatever she wants to do, whatever. But as soon as she said it, and I'll reiterate what she said, that's up to CPAC. Personally, I don't believe that he should be playing a role in the future of this party or the future of this country. Immediately, when she said that, Kevin McCarthy goes, well, on that note, and everybody starts laughing like it's a joke. Like it's a joke. But you could see how upset Kevin McCarthy really was. And it was, I'm telling you, like I said, it's like she's purposely trying to divide the Republican Party. Like she's come some kind of a sleeper cell. Like she's a swamp donkey herself. You know what I mean? To say that in direct contradiction of what Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy just said not 2 seconds before they asked her to and hey, the one thing I'll give her is the same props that I'll give Stacey Abrams. As much as I can't stand Stacey Abrams and I think that she needs to be locked up because I think that she's broken many, many election laws, they stick to their guns. They stick to their guns. It's more than I can say about Lindsey Graham. It's more than I can say about Mom Jean's Mitt Romney or Nikki Haley. You know what I mean? They do stick to their guns. But to say that right after the leader of your party, the minority leader of your party, because we all know Trump is the leader of the party, says yes, he should unequivocally without any kind of hesitation whatsoever. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. She's on her way out. And I'm going to tell you what, the GOP knows she's on her way out, and they're going to push her out. They're going to push her out just as badly as the Democrats are pushing all of the bad attention on failed Governor Andrew Cuomo. All right? Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Fauci actually has a boss. I did not know this. I thought Dr. Fauci was his own boss. Masked up, 3 masks. Oh, before we even get to that, let me just tell you what I experienced at the airport. Okay? When I was leaving Boston this morning, the amount of, I bet 50% of the people that I saw were wearing double masks. Now, I can barely take it with one on. I can barely take it. You know what I mean? But in order to fly, you can't use, I tried, you can't use the mask exempt card anymore. They make you. It is what it is. You're either wearing one or you're not flying. I saw people with the nurse mask, the blue surgical masks on. And then I saw them with their cloth masks on over that. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the absolute, what is going on here? How are you even living? You know what I mean? How do you even breathe through that? But 2 masks. So anyway, Dr. Fauci has a boss, is Dr. Francis Collins. Dr. Francis Collins happens to be the director of the National Institute of Health. Okay? And it comes out in direct contradiction to Biden and Fauci and says that this has become absolutely blown out of proportion, that the reaction to this from each state has been blown way out of proportion. And then he goes on to say President Trump should get all the credit for this vaccine that's out. He should also get all the credit for the rollout plan that he had in place before Resident Cornpot came into power. And then he said that he used the word, quote, breathtaking when he was describing Operation Warp Speed. This is Dr. Fauci's boss. I didn't know Dr. Fauci had a boss, because if he had a boss, I thought that the boss would fire him a long time ago. But the fact that he came out and just basically obliterated what Biden and Fauci are saying, it was a great sight to see. He said it's blown way out of proportion. President Trump needs to get all the credit, and he says that the Operation Warp Speed and the rollout plan were, quote, breathtaking. But you won't hear the administration, the fake administration in there, you won't hear them give that same sentiment. No, you won't. So I just thought that was something to discuss, because like I said, Dr. Francis Collins, the director of the National Institute of Health, I didn't even know that he was a guy. You know what I mean? Why aren't we talking to this guy? Why aren't we talking to Fauci's boss when it comes to his recommendations, rather than talking to Fauci? Somebody said, have you ran into Jenna Ellis yet? No, I haven't, but I am. Because of this, I get to be on Media Row. So I'm literally, I can walk right by and I can speak with everybody there. I mean, if they're be willing to speak with me. So I'm sure Jenna Ellis will be there. I got a big surprise to show you guys tomorrow, and I will be with Ben Berkwam. I will be with Will Johnson. I will be with Freedom Social Network. We got a big surprise to show you tomorrow, and I can't wait to show that. That's awesome. Somebody says, what's happening with the New Hampshire votes? Well, I'll tell you what's happening with the New Hampshire votes. It's not part of the show tonight, but since you asked, and this is an interactive show, the New Hampshire State Senate voted 24-0 to do a forensic audit on the machines. Even though we've already done a hand count and know that the machines were wrong, they've ordered a forensic audit. That's the first step. Now, the New Hampshire Attorney General is calling for all of those machines in that county to be confiscated immediately, and so that they can do that, forensic audit. So you have a 24-0 vote, and you also have the New Hampshire Attorney General who is ordering the confiscation of those machines. So what I can't wait for is that to happen, so that other counties in New Hampshire follow suit, because that's the way it happens. Domino effect, ladies and gentlemen. No, I have not run into Dan Bongino. That's a good question. Not yet, but I hope to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on. Gavin Newsom's recall petition has now gained over 1.8 million signatures, with nearly 3 weeks left to go. The California special election to recall Gavin Newsom is to be held this fall. They want 2 million signatures. And, ladies and gentlemen, as I said the other day, of course now, they're requiring signature verification to make sure that these petitions signatures are real. My, how quick the tables have turned, huh? But that's a great thing, ladies and gentlemen, because you have the 2 worst governors most likely on their way out. And you got Liz Cheney most likely on her way out. You know what I mean? So the tides are turning. Georgia did a great thing the other day. We know what happened there because of the breaking news that we were talking about the other day. We have wonderful, wonderful things happening in the Republican Party. You're just not going to hear about them, ladies and gentlemen, on the mainstream media. You got to listen to people like me. You got to listen to people like Dan Bongino. You got to listen to people like Ben Berkwam. You got to listen to people like Ferguson. You got to listen to the people that actually give you the truth. Okay, America's Voice News, Right Side Broadcasting. Speaking of Right Side Broadcasting, who's the guy that's always at the Trump rallies? I can't think of his name right now. He's the guy. He's the main guy that's always doing the broadcasts from the Trump rallies. Blonde-haired guy, probably in his mid-40s. I can't remember his name. I ran into him 3 times today. And Brian Glenn, okay, thank you so much. I ran into him 3 times today, and hopefully I'm going to get an interview with him because I would love to ask him some questions. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that I want to interview that probably you wouldn't think that I'd want to interview. You know what I mean? Like that guy right there, he has a lot of respect from me, and I hope that you would want to hear interview that I would have with him because I would hope that you'd have the same respect for him that I have and what he's trying to accomplish and what he's been able to accomplish. You know what I mean? Just a great guy. He loves President Trump, and boy, there's a lot of Trump down here. A lot of Trump masks, a lot of Trump people lining the streets. You've seen Secret Service already. You've seen the police working with Secret Service because to block streets off for when President Trump comes, and all the vendors out there still selling. Guess what they're selling still? Trump 2020 gear. That's what they're still selling. They're not even selling Trump 2024 gear. They're still selling Trump 2020 gear. So just a great sight to see, ladies and gentlemen. And make sure to follow me on Telegram because I'm going to post small videos and pictures. All my pictures I'm going to post on Telegram, Instagram, and Parler and Freedom over the next few days, okay? So if you need to know where to find me, go to my website, and I actually have a link for each one of those icons that you can click and follow me on all those places, okay? All right, moving on. This right here is this. I couldn't wait to get to this part of the show. If you need to, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't shared this yet, share this video now because this is the part of the show that I could not wait to get to. I've been talking about President Biden's State of the Union address. My opinion is they're going to find some way. I've been saying it for the last 3 days. In my opinion, they're going to find some way to get him not to do it. There's no way they can have him speaking in front of the world on the world stage because you know the world will be watching. There's no way they can have him speak for any longer than 20 minutes. He's just getting worse every day. He's getting far worse every day. He's worse today than he was yesterday. He's worse yesterday than he was the day before. Daily, he keeps declining. So I said, you know what? They're either going to have him do this for about a half an hour tops, or they're going to find a way to do it virtually, and they're going to blame it on COVID, even though we're having Senate hearings every single day, or they're going to cancel it or postpone it due to safety. That's what I've been saying, right? All of you watch the show. You know that that's been a topic here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the acting U.S. Capital City Police Chief, Pittman, he said, militia, man, this gets me. He says that they have intel, okay? Why we're not hearing this from the FBI, why we're not hearing, and how these guys are getting intel, how the Capital City Police are getting this kind of intel is beyond me. I don't even think it's real. But acting U.S. Capitol Police Chief Pittman says, quote, militia groups they have intel that militia groups want to blow up the Capitol building and kill as many members as possible when Biden delivers his State of the Union address in Congress. I don't believe that at all. There's not a bone in my body. There is not a cell on a molecular level inside this wonderful body that God gave me. Well, it's not a wonderful body. I'm sure I could tighten it up a little bit, but you know what I mean. In God's eyes, it's a wonderful body. There is no way this is true. There is no way this is true. No way. Because A, why would the Capital City Police be getting this intel, but the FBI wouldn't? Okay? Why is nobody hearing about this? I know I have friends in so many militias. You would think that people like you or I would hear about it. Not that I would, if I did hear about this, I would probably report it, to be honest with you, because I'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa. We can't. That's not what we should be doing, okay? But the only reason I'm smiling and laughing right now, and instead of being serious, is because that's a joke. That's a straight up joke, ladies and gentlemen. Militia groups want to blow up the Capitol and kill as many members as possible when Biden delivers his State of the Union address in Congress. If you ask me, this right here is an excuse. Planting the seed now. I could be wrong, but planting the seed now to say, you know what, it is too dangerous to have the State of the Union address. And at the same time, they kill two birds with one stone because they can say, we're justified in having this fence all around the Capitol building. I could be wrong, but we've seen a lot of false flags in the last 5 years. And that, to me, smells entirely of a false flag. Sounds to me like some people are trying to set some stuff up. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about Andrew Cuomo really quickly because it's not that we're beating a dead horse, because I think we never need to stop talking about what this guy did and what he's doing and what he did with married women and what he did with sexual advances and kissing people when they didn't want to and all of that. We're going to continue to talk about that. But here's what I thought was interesting. Mayor de Blasio, failed Mayor de Blasio in the city of New York, is now, I thought these guys were buddy-buddy. But lately, de Blasio's been kind of being, fair weather, and he's kind of been throwing shots at Andrew Cuomo. Well, now he's come out and he said that he's calling for a full investigation into Andrew Cuomo and his sexual exploitations and his sexual advancements towards women and his sexual harassment to staff and people who worked for him. So when I told you that the sharks are smelling blood in the water, now even the mayor of New York City is calling for a full criminal investigation. Now, do you think that de Blasio really cares? Do you think that the Democratic caucus, the Democratic Party in New York, really cares if this man goes down? No, they don't care. They don't care in the least little bit. This is PR for them. This is a scapegoat for them to get attention off Biden and his failures, the jobs that are being lost, the lives that are being lost, and the country that's being ruined. He's a fall guy. That's it. So I just thought that I'd bring that up. Now, here's something interesting. Facebook has banned the Myanmar military. Okay? So you know that you can call them Burma, you can call them Myanmar. It depends on what generation you come from, I guess. But we know that they took over and they arrested all the fake politicians there who cheated in the election. Okay? Then you had President Biden come out and say that they were going to put sanctions on the Myanmar military for doing what they did because they weren't justified in doing it. Then they put sanctions on the Myanmar, on the country, I guess you can say, because the military is running the country. Now Facebook has banned the Myanmar military's Facebook account. I wonder why, ladies and gentlemen. And since when did Facebook get so much power that they get to decide that the Ayatollah in Iran, who's a murderous dictator, gets to have a Facebook page and a Twitter page? Jack Dorsey, Osama bin Wannabe, and Mark Zuckerberg, these guys have got way too much power, ladies and gentlemen. So they've banned the Myanmar military's Facebook account. Well, ladies and gentlemen, why? Why? What does the Myanmar military and their inner workings of their country, and they know what's best for their people, and they put people in jail who tried to steal an election, okay? What does that have to do with Facebook? What does that have to do with Zuckerberg? Why does he have any interest in that? Why would he ban them? Think about that. In what planet do these two entities exist together? There isn't. There's no reason that Mark Zuckerberg should have any reason to, unless they're like showing killing people online on live video or something. In what world would he even have any interest in doing it? I'll tell you why. Because what the Myanmar military did is exactly what needs to happen here. And they don't want that kind of news getting out any further than it already has. They don't want people sympathizing with what's happened and actually they don't want it being legitimized, I should say. And they don't want us saying, hey, cheerleading, saying that should happen here. Because it should happen here. Because we know what happened here. The problem is this country is in such a state of, I don't even know, man. I don't even know what we're thinking right now. We are literally letting Everything happened right under our noses and nobody does anything about it. Now, I'm not saying you should do anything about it or I should do anything about it, because we can do things at a state and local level. But the fact that nobody in higher up places like the Pentagon or anybody is even doing anything about it, it lets me know that the reason why Facebook banned the Myanmar military and their Facebook account is because they don't want the rest of the world following suit. Because what other reason would they have? What other reason would they have? It makes zero sense. Somebody said, get the Myanmar military over here. Exactly. Somebody said, let's leave Facebook and Twitter for a day. Yeah, well, man, I'd love to see those companies go down. I really would. Or at least be taken over by somebody else who wouldn't be like that. Did you guys see, moving on, did you guys see Rand Paul and how he just basically went in on the transgender nominee from President Biden, Dr. Rachel Levine? This, I don't even know what to call it. I don't even know to say him, her, it, thing. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what's politically correct and what's not politically correct. I don't know what they're going to ban me for saying. I don't want to say doctor because the girl has failed at everything he's ever done. The track record of success is garbage. But the Democrats are going to fall in behind Dr. Rachel Levine because he's a transgender. Not because of his success, her success. See, if I say them both, I can't get in trouble. Not because of her track record. No. Because her is a transgender. And it's all about identity politics. It's all about political correctness and all this. So the Democrats are falling in behind her, even though his track record is complete garbage. No success anywhere. And now her is calling for 3-year-olds to be able to get sex changes. So Rand Paul was like 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds don't even know how to make right decisions. They don't understand that the decisions they make are forever. You are literally pushing for 3-year-olds and above to be able to say whether they want to be a girl or a boy, regardless of what they were born as and the gift that God gave them. You're going to let them and their parents choose which they want to be, and you want them to get sex changes at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. Do you realize the ramifications there? Do you realize that there's no going back? Do you realize that there's not a reversal of stuff like that, at least emotionally and mentally? Do you know what that's going to do to a child? Do you know what that's going to do to them as they grow up? So God bless Rand Paul for saying this. These people are sick. It's child abuse. Just like sending a kid to school with a masky pad on for 8 hours a day and keeping them socially distanced from their friends and letting them know that this is okay and this is the new normal. It's child abuse. These people are sick in the head. I don't care if I get banned for saying something like that. That's the truth. They're sick in the head. I didn't make right decisions until I was 38, let alone 3. I still make poor decisions. But you have no idea what you're doing at 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. You have no idea the permanent damage that you are doing to yourself and the people around you. Now, I don't know what it's like to be in a world where you don't feel comfortable in your skin as a boy or a girl. I don't know that feeling. So I can't sit here and say that I can understand what those people go through. I know there are people who do commit suicide because of this very topic. I'm not saying that I'm not in any way being considerate of their feelings when they're over 18 and they can make their own decisions legally. But it seems like the Democratic Party doesn't understand the difference between the word legal and illegal. Even the guy who's going to be the new Attorney General, Merrick Garland, doesn't even think that it's wrong to illegally cross the border. These people are sick. You want to turn 18 and make that decision for yourself? By all means, do you. But to tell a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, heck, even a 16-year-old that they can have the decision and make this decision to do this permanently, you are a sick person. And child services should be getting involved in putting you in prison if you're that kind of a parent. That is sick, demented stuff. I don't care who you are. That is not the way that God designed us to be. Anyway, we're going to end the show, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about the $90 million that Black Lives Matter raked in last year alone. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, BLM raked in $90 million. Now, I know in a world of billions and trillions, 90 million is just like, oh, $90 million. But think about how much money $90 million is. $90 million. Now, we did this research a long time ago. But in case you weren't watching the show, or in case you missed that show, let me kind of bring you back to the research that I did to find out where that money goes, just in case you missed it. When you donate to the self-proclaimed, on their website, Marxist group who wants to destroy the family nucleus, their words, not mine. Their words, not mine. When you donate to that group, that the organization that facilitates that donation is Act Blue. Act Blue is also the company or the foundation that facilitates money coming in donated to the Democratic Party and where to disperse that to which candidate. So if you're telling me that you don't think that the money coming in donated to BLM is going to fund the campaigns of Democratic candidates, and if you don't believe that the Democrat Party is using BLM as a tool to rake in money and be able to victimize people and make you feel like you're a racist, then you need to do some research. Now, BLM, the actual thought behind BLM when it first started was a good thought. It really was. There are people out there who are targeted just because of their skin color. I get it. I've seen it firsthand. I have so many friends who have dark colored skin who have experienced it, and I experienced it with them. I saw it firsthand. The original idea of that movement was a great idea. However, it was hijacked by the Democratic Party in Ferguson, Missouri, many years ago. What was that, 4 years ago now when that happened in Ferguson, Missouri? When the Democrats saw that they had an opportunity to take over this movement and turn it into this Marxist political arm of their party, that, ladies and gentlemen, is when that idea that first started was destroyed, and it became a terrorist organization that collects money because of the fears that it puts out and because of the narrative that it puts out, brainwashed to a society through CNN and MSNBC, and they rake in money using them, and they disperse that money to Democrat candidates through Act Blue. And if you think I'm lying, just research it. Just research it. Donate 10 cents or something and see who facilitates it. Go to their website and read that they're a self-proclaimed Marxist group. Telling you, man. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in the Democratic Party. But Ferguson, Missouri was where it all changed. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, I don't know. You might see on my website that it says at 11 and 5. It's just programmed in there to do that every day, that I'm going live. I might not make it 11 and 5 each day for the next 3 days. I'll try. I'll try to continue the show as it's supposed to be done, okay? But I don't know where I'm going to be or where I'm going to be on which floor but I'll go live when there's speakers. And I'll go live when I'm interviewing somebody. Sometimes I might not go live. Sometimes I might just record it and I might put it out later. But I just wanted to let you know, if you don't see me at 5 or 11 o'clock, there's a specific reason why. Okay, I'm not gone. I didn't leave. I'm not going to cancel the show or anything like that. But make sure you follow me on Telegram, Instagram, Parler, and Freedom, because that's where you're going to get daily pictures. I posted a picture earlier of Tommy Lahren. I got to see her. She was on air while I was right there, and she was going in. She was going in like she always does. She's a firecracker, man. I just got inspired. Maybe that's why I'm like this tonight. You know what I mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Hey, guys, if it wasn't for you, this right here, this wouldn't even be possible. The monthly donors and the one-time donors, you guys are responsible for this kind of stuff. You guys are going to be responsible for so much more that I do, and I will never let you down. I can promise you that. I will never let you down. I will never let God down. I feel it as a duty of my life to do this, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank you so much for what you've been able to do for me. I want to thank you for your continued support. And if you want to donate anything at all, or if you want to become a monthly donor, just go to jeremyherrell.com. There's a donate section. You can do it all right there. But also, ladies and gentlemen, check out the new items in the store. We have great new items in the store that also helps as well. And you can watch past shows and listen to music and podcasts and everything on there. It's like a one-stop shop for everything. All right? I love you all. Remember, there are right ways, there are wrong ways. There's only one Yahweh. So stand up tall, keep your shoulders back, your chest out, and your head up high, because you are a child of God, and no weapon formed against you will ever prosper. I love you. God bless you. Have a great evening, and hopefully we'll get some great interviews over the next couple days just for you. Thank you. We'll see you later on. Have a wonderful evening, ladies and gentlemen.